Alright guys, we are back working on the Iron 6. When I last left off, I was hammering and beating on the brace that comes down onto the wheelhouse, the inner wheelhouse. And I've said before, sometimes I'll take an evening to just get a lot of work done without the camera, and that's what I did. So I will show you my progress and how we got up to here. But don't worry, the B-pillar is still not in yet, but we're close. But we're still gonna cover all that. Also, welcome to greaserookie Garage. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. That would be fantastic. Much appreciated. Let's jump into it. So this is pretty exciting, guys. Look at how well this quarter panel is lining up now. We are getting super close. I have this area pretty much sorted out. Here sorted out. This is sorted out. It is fitting up again. My only problem area right now is this right in along here, which I hope to deal with that in this episode. But as far as how the wheelhouse lines up and everything, it's kind of hard for you guys to see that right now, but it is pretty much on the money. So great things happening. Okay, so when I was out here working hard last night, I realized that this whole inside of the car still needed to be moved over a little bit. I guess I knew it, I just hadn't really addressed it. And in order to get this B-pillar in right, it had to be addressed. So, I spent most of my evening last night beating on this whole inner side. And I don't know if you guys can remember what that looked like before, but it is much, much, much better now. Much more straightened out, I guess you'd say. And because of that, that now allowed the wheelhouse to move over at the top here about, maybe 3/8. And that then allowed this whole thing to shift over a little. Now there's still some gapping down here, but it's not too bad. But this wheelhouse is sitting pretty much on the money now. And that lined things up over here. And this is all pretty well straightened out. So things are going really, really well at this point. I do have this wood in here propping this up a little bit. I showed you how when this moves over, it lifts everything up. So I just decided to prop that with wood to keep that in place until all this work gets done. Now in this episode, I would like to get the B-pillar in weld through primer and tacked in. So that and I plan on doing that while the quarter panel is dry fit to it, so that we know everything lines up. That's going off of the advice from Barry from Joe Daddy's Garage. He took a phone call with me this week and was incredibly helpful, gave me some insight, and with that you can see I was able to get places, we'll say. Because again, things are lining up much better. If you heard the door and you're wondering why it made that noise after I just rebuilt the hinges, I'll let you in on a dirty little secret. I'm not proud of this, but I did a thing whenever I rebuilt the hinges. This guy right here, I did not replace this. The kit comes with a new pin and a roller on there, and I honestly did not realize, I don't know if it's because I painted this with it on, but this one is not rolling. So now when you close it, it jams right in there, and you hear that little pop. I tried putting grease on it and it worked for like a day, and it's back to popping. Listen, what was that? Things are settling. I told you guys when I named the channel greaserookie Garage, that was my disclaimer. I don't always make the best decisions. That was probably a rookie mistake, but I'm happy with it. I'm not going to let it bother me. Maybe I'll fix it later, but right now it's a minor thing, and look at the progress I'm making. I was able to move on, so I'm washing my hands clean of it for now.
Do you think that's okay? Come here. Yes, you are. Tell everybody how pretty you are. Yes, you are so pretty. Yes.
And all I got snot on the lens. Sorry. Alright, so what's my next move on this quarter panel? It is getting this area figured out. And I think I can tell you, I think what a big part of my problem is this little, see if I can show you that. There you can just see it. This little jut out here is not running parallel, and it's making it hard to force this in. So I've got to fix this. Okay, I just ripped the quarter panel off because I located part of my problem, which is this area right here is lifted up, and that's this. If you look at it, it's maybe hard to tell on the camera, but that little section is higher than over here, the rest of this, which is making it difficult to force the quarter panel on. Also, I need to put a cutout in the quarter panel so that it can wrap around the wheelhouse here. So I'm going to do those two things, and then we will see how it fits. I'm also going to flatten out the bottom of the quarter panel a little bit. Took the wheelhouse off, that'll help. That's looking much better. There's some braze here that needs taken off too. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Not too shabby. So I laid cardboard behind this, so hopefully you can see that little lip that's sticking out. If you look at the bottom, this is the inside of the quarter panel where it runs along the rocker. And if you look at this line, when we get to the end here, it sticks out. And I need to cut a little cutout in here anyway so that it can wrap around the wheelhouse. So I'm going to do that now, and hopefully I'll make a little square right in here. Hopefully that'll make this quarter panel go on a lot better. Ever so gently try to bend this out without messing up anything on the front there, so that I can cut that off. Should be good. Alright, that should help significantly. Alright, hopefully this area behaves a little better. Oh yeah, like a glove. Heck yeah. That was like night and day. Amazing. Wow, that was the ticket there. Alright, so this is by far the best I have had this quarter panel fitting, and I'm really happy with this. And what I'm gonna do, I think at this point, is I'm gonna notch this out and just run a piece of replacement metal across here. You can see that, hang on. You can see that this needs cleaned up. And I'm not going to be too fussy about this area because it's going to look better than it did. So we're going to clean this up, and then we're going to get all this in weld-through primer, and I'm going to reassemble this. And with the quarter panel on, I'm going to tack this in and probably weld it in along here. Then the quarter panel can come off. I'll coat the inside of this with a heavy Rust-Oleum or something. Put that, well, we'll get the brace in afterwards, I think. I gotta think about that. I think I want to do it afterwards. And then I also have to install the quarter window. And that will finish up this area, I think, and we'll be that much closer to welding in this quarter panel. Alright, so we're back. It's night 2, and here's what I've done so far this evening. I've gone around and clamped in the quarter panel in a few places, and I even screwed it in a few places because we're getting really close to the final positioning, I think, of this quarter panel. Now I'm going to note that there's an issue right here. That, I believe, is coming from the hinge for the deck lid. We know that that needs adjusted, and there's an issue there. I'm not too worried about that. And there is an issue back here with this being just a little bit too long. Now things aren't quite lined up back here perfectly where they need to be. This needs to come down a little bit, and when that goes down I might be able to push it in a little bit. But this being my first quarter panel fitment, you know, I don't know how much I'm going to wrestle this. We'll see. Honestly, I mean, I do want to fix that. I think I can manipulate that one way or another. Don't know, but I'm not going to lose sleep over that at this point. So with the quarter panel being screwed in and clamped in a few places, what I'm going to do is remove the B-pillar for now, because this quarter panel serves as a perfect placeholder for the B-pillar. Close the door. You can see things look pretty good. Now, the other thing I'll note is the door needs to come up a little bit. It is a little bit low here, which should take care of the issue where it's not quite lined up. Plus this will come down. The quarter panel needs to be pressed down a tiny bit. So I'm not that concerned about that. But overall, we have the quarter panel about where we need it. So the B-pillar, in theory, should be about where I need it. So with this in place, I'm going to remove the B-pillar and prep it, patch this, and get it ready to weld in. Alright guys, we just aren't gonna quite get there this episode. As you can see, I decided to start stripping this down because I figured it would be easier while it was off the car. I wanted to make sure I at least got all of the blue paint on there that was sprayed over the vintage burgundy. That blue paint was not original, and it came off fairly quickly. It was a very light, it looked like maybe it was only one coat. So I wanted to make sure I at least got all of that off and make sure I stripped all the necessary edges that are going to need weld through primer. I also came through with a wire brush and cleaned up the back, which is the part that will get Rust-Oleum to protect it. So I haven't fixed this area yet. That's going to have to be in the next episode. So really wanted to make it happen, but we just didn't get there. Got a little sidetracked. Stripping this down, and I'll probably, I don't know if I'll take this down any further or do the rest once it's welded in. I don't know. We'll see where my motivation takes me. But we're getting there regardless. It's progress. So real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to Doug Vanderwell. He is restoring a Mustang, and he just started an Instagram page uploading his progress. It is Third Stall Garage. Check it out. He's putting up videos, so it's pretty cool. So check that out. Very good content. So that's everything we have for this episode. Didn't quite get as far as I wanted to, but we still made progress. I do intend on going live Sunday at 11 a.m. Don't quote me on that. I will put something up a half hour before I do so, if I am able to do so. So, until the next episode, guys, stay driven.